I really like to thank Vilros for going through and sending me a Raspberry Pi, the 128 gig, 8 gigabyte memory version to go through and test out and show you how it works. In this video, I'm going to go through and show you how to put it together, so make sure you stay for that. But first, let's go over a few things about the Raspberry Pi. What is it for? It's basically a mini computer, if you will, that runs Linux. It runs the 64-bit architecture. However, this is a 32-bit operating system in it. Now, you can go through and flash it to 64, which is what I did. You definitely don't need to do that, but it's just an option. This comes with a 128 gigabyte SD card, which is awesome. Usually don't see that much in them. And I'm going to go through and show you the unboxing in a moment of all the things that come with. What can you use this for? A desktop computer replacement. You can use it for retro gaming, web hosting. You can do basically game server hosting, network monitoring, media player, streaming, whatever you could think of. A lot of people use this for retro. Let's go through and jump in the unboxing and give you a better idea of what it comes with. I'll show you how to put it together, and then I'll tell you the pluses and minuses that I found. So here's the box and everything that comes with it. You get 2 HDMI cords, which is nice, and you get a lot of other stuff. We'll go through and just pull it all out. Here you have a 8 gigabyte board. You have the case, the cooling case. You have the camera piece. We're not going to use that. We have a case for the whole unit and a start guide. The other things was the SD card, the power adapter, and the USB port that you can plug the micro SD card into the computer, which is really nice. So you open it up, you put the SD card in, and you just plug it in. Here you're going to go through and see the board, and then you're going to go through and have to put it together. So we're going to walk you through how to do that. First, you want to take everything out that you can, and you want to take the SD card out. When putting the SD card in, make sure you're careful. You have to get it into the slot, and I'll kind of show you, because the first time I did it, I actually went under the slot and into the case, but I was able to get it back out and put it in. But you just have to be very mindful of that. That's an easy thing you can miss. You also have the power adapter here, and then here's the case. In the case, you have a whole bunch of different little things, like your screws to open it, and then we have some things to open it more for like a certain fan. You have the off-on button, and you have the feet of the device itself. So first, we're going to put the on-off button in, and here it's just a plastic piece that will fit in. It does take a moment to go through and figure out exactly how it fits, but once you get it, you got it. And I'll show you in a second once I get it in here. And it's just going to kind of lay there. So, and you can see how it looks there. Next, we're going to put the board in. You want to make sure you put it the correct way. The adapters are going to be open on the other side, so you want to make sure that's the way. Here you have a thermal cooling pad that you want to put on. First, you want to rip both sides. Well, one side first, then you want to put it in there, and then you want to rip the other side so it goes through and has the thermal cooling directly onto the area it needs to be. Now, first we have a fan that's going to need to get plugged in on the board. So make sure you know where that is, and I'll show you where it is here in a moment. Now we're going to go through and plug the piece into the board. It's a little hard to get to at first, but once you figure it out, I kept having a problem seeing, because it's so small, exactly where it goes, but I did find it then, and we'll go through and put it in here. All right, and it's just on the side of the board right next to the USB adapters on the other side. The thermal sticker, you want to make sure it's still against. That thing falls off very easy. Once you get it here, you can click it into place. You'll hear all 4 corners click, and at this point we're going to go through and work on getting the screws in and getting the feet on. We'll fast forward through the screws here at 4x so you can get a better idea of everything. Once we have those on, there are silicone pads, and you're going to go through and put this in where the little circle indents are. And this is just going to keep it so your stuff doesn't get scratched up and it stays in one place. So it's kind of like little feet for the device itself. And once you get one in, you'll just rinse and repeat and do all four this way. Now we're all set up, but now we need to put this in. And again, make sure you get it in the slot. You can see here, I don't get it in the slot, but I do fix it later. I pull it out and I get it in correctly. It actually went under the area, but I did go through and get it corrected. It just took me a moment. And once it goes in, it's not going to click in place. It's just going to be in. You'll be able to use your thumbnail to pull it out. You have a little rubber piece that goes over top of it. Just make sure you get it on correct. If you don't, it's going to fall off right away. But then we're set here. And now we have everything and we can start plugging things in. The power adapter is going to be pretty simple. It's going to go through and plug into the area that's the power area, which is the first one. And then the next two are going to be for the HDMI cords. We're going to use a TV, so we're only going to need one. But you can plug in a second monitor if you have that. So we're just going to use one there. And then for the other ones, we're just going to use the mouse and keyboard for those. And that's pretty much it. All we got to do is hook it up to the TV and put the power on. There's a hole there that is for the camera area. I don't have a camera to mess with that, but they also have separators to add an extra fan. For me, I noticed the fan goes on when you turn it on, and then after that, it kind of goes off or gets quiet. Here you can see with the power adapter plugged into the power, and then we have the white HDMI cord plugged into the back of the TV in the HDMI port. Keep in mind, if that's HDMI 2, which is mine, you'd look for input HDMI 2. And then I have mouse and 2 for my keyboard. And I have that set up here. So now I have all that set up. And when I boot it up, this is what it looks like. And we can go through and see the screen here. And we can click on whatever we need to see what's going on here. And I'll open a few things. You can see YouTube here. It's open and you can go through and watch stuff like you would. You can use the internet as normal. There's not a lot of apps on it. Linux is very bare bones, so you'd have to download a lot of stuff that you'd want. Games can be a little rough. I was really hoping to play Minecraft Pixelmon for my son, but unfortunately the memory constraints on the 8 gigabytes was not enough. I think it would work with the 16 gigabytes. I hope to go through and do a video in that in the future. It would be great to show that, but unfortunately Minecraft doesn't work. I'm going to try some other old retro console stuff. I just haven't really got to it yet. And you can go through and pretty much use it like a Linux machine, and all you do is connect it to Wi-Fi. And on the top right, a lot of stuff does have an interface that you can click on, which is nice because they've added that over time. And you can see these are some of the apps that you can get with it. So overall, what do I think about the Raspberry Pi? I think it's an awesome idea here. I really like it. I really was hoping to get Minecraft working on it. I'm hoping maybe I get the next version up and get that working, but it was very close. It just didn't have enough memory because those things are memory hogs. But overall, it's pretty awesome. You just hit the button. It's, you know, green when it's turning on, red when it's off. Pretty simple, neat little computer, and I would recommend it, especially if you're looking for something to fit one of those need cases. It's gonna work well for you. I really hope this was helpful.